It's already, what do we got here? 9:11 here, local time in Winnipeg, and I think people are just spent. You know, the game was so crazy, that first semifinal. So it's interesting if you're these two teams playing here. So crazy, that first.
Standpoint, when the match before you goes 2.5 hours in length, they're scheduling their warm-up for.
The setter Colody had to take that ball coming back over, so it's Hamid who bumps it outside to Johnston, and Lila side set there from Colody. Great play, tipped over by Johnston, and then nobody was able to come up with the second ball. Here early on, she was their leader in kills and points throughout this course of the season. Speaking of points, there's a big to serve. You kind of just got that fun little pace of getting that kill, sprint back to the line, give the ball, now I can go back and serve.
Yeah, there's a different level of swagger in your step when you just bury a ball in the front and then you go and try and tack on an ace and put back-to-back points on the board. It really is that kind of cool rhythm that you get as a volleyball.
She goes back again, tips it over, takes McLaughlin out of the play, and this time it's going to be Djordjevic, and I believe that was her first swing of the match.
And more semi-final national visits at the very least, and we're going to find out after this ace.
Kept alive once again by Moore. Milan diving save, and then a joust at the net, won by the set. Had that connection, they become so effective. So we see the middle right there, great job. She passes her own ball. Colody goes back to her on that step around run, and Dixon rewards her.
But you don't usually see that kind of interaction with such a compliment, and Colody.
Around for both teams. As we get back to live action, Guzin tips it over, and just a smart play there.
Computer science with a focus on large. The Alberta block back onto their side, or where they ended up with this ball as they followed up with a service ace from Milica Djordjevic. The closest of the set scores was 25-18. Carabin have already amassed more than that set, so I'm curious how they respond
for sure
when they're being pushed a little bit more than they've seen so far in this tournament. And it's another service ace and point on the board for Djordjevic. And she is really stringing together a last-ditch effort push that has been remarkable. Just a 1-point deficit now for the Carabin.
Montreal knocking on the door. Passed up there by Guzin. Colody outside to Poole. Comes back to the Alberta side. Poole again. And off the top of the hand, Milan with the dig. McLaughlin with the setter's dump. And what a smart play there by the Montreal setter. And we are now tied 23-23 in this opening set. No more timeouts left. First to two, win by 2. Here we go.
McLaughlin plays with a chip on her shoulder out there, Jared. She is one that she'll earn a point, and she might turn in and celebrate that with her team. Hold that thought. We've got a set point for the Montreal Carabin, as it's another service ace from Djordjevic in this rotation. That is 3 in this service run that the Pandas have just not been able to break.
And another one! Djordjevic, Montreal comes all the way back to take the opening set, 25-23, and now lead 1-0. That's 3 aces for Djordjevic at the end of this first. You're watching the 2025 U Sports Women's Volleyball Championship on CBC. We'll be back with you after this.